Hello, my name's Steve and welcome to the Seaside Allotment channel. And today I'm going to talk about carrots. I think carrots are probably my biggest challenge from a self-sufficiency point of view. It's very hard to keep fresh carrots all year round, or at least it is for me. I tried a few things. I tried growing carrots in a hotbed last year. I can't say that was a great success. They did grow, but they didn't grow a lot quicker than they did in one of my little hoop tunnels. And I tried keeping them in the ground, but they got eaten really badly, and so we kind of ran out around sort of February time, and we didn't get new carrots until sort of May time. So yeah, it's tricky. Now beetroot, to some extent, fills the need for carrots for us, because cut beetroot into little chips and steam them, and you can eat them just like carrots, especially golden beetroots. But we do like carrots. So what we're going to do this year, we're going to start, let's go back a bit. We've got a lot of different carrots in the ground at the moment in different ways. So I'll show you some of those ways, and hopefully those carrots will kind of stage us all the way through to sort of January, February time. Hopefully maybe even beyond that. And then I've also got carrots that I'm starting right now, and I'm going to overwinter those carrots in the polytunnel. And they're a particular variety, and there they are. No, there we go. So these are Napoli F1, and I got these off Amazon. It's the only place I could find them, and these apparently are designed to be planted in late September, October time, and as I say, overwintered in the polytunnel. So I'm going to show you planting those, and I'll take you through the various different beds that I've got of carrots at different levels of maturity. And all of this basically is focused on carrots late in the season and carrots early in the season. Mid-season carrots are a doddle. It's not really much of an issue, provided you fleece them or net them against the dreaded carrot fly. So let me show you around what we've got in the ground and what's working and what's not working, and then we'll plant some carrots. And then maybe next year I'll do a full guide to carrots and all the little issues and all that sort of thing. And the final thing I'll say is we grow carrots for different purposes. So we do grow little carrots, really tender ones, sweet ones, which we put in the salad mixes. And then we obviously grow more mature carrots, which we cook. So on with the carrot show. So we're going to start off in my polytunnel, and in here I've got two beds of carrots, and these are meant to be grown in ideal conditions, free of any pests or anything like that, and just perfect for the salad mixes. So let's just have a quick look. The ones at the back are the best ones, and here we go. So that is a lovely carrot, and that's grown directly into compost. This issue of don't grow in compost and all that's never been an issue for me. No problem at all. Let's have another one, because I'm going to snack on some of these. Yeah, lovely little carrots for eating fresh. There we go, another one. Perfect. Okay, so carrots in the polytunnel, as I said, for salads. And these carrots are, I think I planted them beginning of August, something like that. And then I got another batch here, and I'm not actually sure what these are, but again, let's take a look. So So these are black carrots. Quite nice. Quite nice. So I'm going to snack on these. And I'll just pick another one. Actually, a couple actually, because I've got. Yeah. So yeah, these are just as I was hoping. Just perfect for the salads. Let's go take a look outside. So this is my main late season bed on the allotment, and I've got some lovely late season ones at home as well, which I'll show you later. But these are not bad carrots so far, but they're not well on. As I say, these are the late season ones, so I'll just pick one of these just to show you. There you go. So a lot of growth still to go on these. Again, sown directly into compost, but that's looking pretty good. I think, you know, by November time, when I'm harvesting this bed, these should be looking pretty good. Okay, so now I'm in one of my cold frames, and I need to harvest these fairly soon, by the end of this month, because I want to get this bed planted with lettuces probably that are overwintering. And let's just take a look at some of these. So these are a black carrot, and that is looking pretty good. So again, another 3 or 4 weeks of growth on that, and that will be quite a nice carrot. Let's pick another one of those, have a look. Yeah, a bit bigger. Now, I have a lot of relatively immature carrots, as you can see, and that's partly just because, you know, these are my third succession of carrots. So we've had plenty of really big ones, and the mature ones are not here. So I'm just sort of showing you the different levels of maturity. But these are going to grow into nice carrots, so I'm pretty pleased with those. So finally, I'm in one of my netted frames here, and we're just looking at some purple carrots again, and these are the last few of the mature carrots that I've got on the allotment. So the rest of them are at home. So these are not bad carrots. Fairly, I mean, not huge. Nothing I ever get really is that huge, because, as I say, I'm always picking them because we eat so many carrots. We feed 20 people, so we pick a lot of carrots. Some of that slight bit of damage here on this one at the end, but still pretty good. So I thought I'd just show you the last bed that I harvested of carrots, and that is this one, all the way to the end there. And we put 4 rows of carrots in there, and we interplanted with onions, spring onions, and that was a lovely bed. That kept us going for a few months. I really like these narrow beds for carrots, just perfect. So I'm back at home now, and just looking at the bed with our mature carrots in it, and we'll pick one of those just to show you what they look like. Well, that is not a very good example, is it? There you go. Yeah, that's a good carrot. It's kind of about the size I like them. Obviously they'll grow bigger than that, but I like them like that. And then finally we've got the storage carrots. So these are in here, and I don't really want to pick one of these because these are the ones that we're keeping late into winter, but I'll pick one of these which are a little bit smaller. But there you go, another lovely carrot. So that's the end of it. All my carrots, and hopefully that will see us through. And if you're wondering what all the noise is, my grandson playing with his helicopter. See you soon. Okay, so planting these Napoli carrots in these tubs, and as I say, these are going to be overwintered in the polytunnel, and I'm using this very fine multi-purpose compost. I've already done a trial with this and at home, and it worked really nicely. Now there is some discussion about different ways of growing carrots. You can either sometimes punch a deep hole, sort of this sort of size in here, fill that with very fine potting compost, and then plant your carrot in that station, and basically repeat that everywhere. And that's what I've tried at home, but I've also tried it just like this, just nice, fairly fine multi-purpose compost. Add a little bit of seaweed meal on the top just to add a little bit more nutrition to this, but seems to be fine, just like sown. It doesn't need the holes. Maybe if you're growing for show you do that, but if you're just growing to eat, this seems fine on its own. So I shall get on and plant this, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop little holes in with my finger like this, and I'm going to plant 2 carrot seeds per station, and fairly small. We'll be picking these carrots fairly small because obviously these are the first carrots of the year, and we'll be desperate for carrots by that stage. And so I'm only going to give them a relatively small amount of space because they don't need a lot unless they're growing into giant keeping carrots. So that will give me, I don't know, maybe 40 carrots or something like that. We probably eat about 2 carrots a day of decent size, so 40 carrots, 20 days, 2 months. So hopefully that will be May and April. So hopefully my stored carrots keep going to March, which I think will be the case. So those are very interesting carrots, bright green, all the seeds, and anyway, so you can maybe see a little bit here. I've sprinkled some seaweed meal on here, and then I'll just brush the compost over those carrots there with my fingers. Just tap it down a little bit, and then we're ready to go. So I'm quite excited about this experiment because, as I say, it's always our biggest challenge, that and spring onions, and I'll show you what we're doing with spring onions in another video. But being very inexperienced at gardening, it's always a challenge to try and get these timings right, because every place in the country and every kind of growing environment is different for everybody. Not everybody has cold frames, not everybody has polytunnels, orientation of those cold frames and polytunnels for the sun is different, the microclimate is different, and the macroclimate is different for different places. So it's always hard to get advice from outside. You have to kind of win it yourself through hard experience. Anyway, that's the carrots done. I've almost no space in the polytunnel at the moment whilst I try and get all these peppers ripened off. but I'll squeeze them in. So there we go, Napoli carrots. Let's check back in March and see how they're doing.